We're back for another tutorial here. In our previous tutorial, if you're following the playlist, we created our very first skeleton page. Today we're going to put this online for the world to see. We're using GitHub for this course just because I think it's an easy way to publish those web pages and to share what you created with me, so then I can look at that, and it's just a nice way to see the code in one location and also see the web page live. So if you created your GitHub account like instructed in class, then here is what your page may look like, and you can go to create repository. If you created your account and then you closed out and you didn't do anything with it, that's fine. When you get into your GitHub, your page may look something like this, and that is fine also. So all you have to do is go up to your upper right hand little icon there. If you click on that and then you find your repositories, then it will take you to this page, and it says overview repositories. That's kind of underlined right up there, and then we can create a new one right here. So for the process of this, it sometimes looks a little different depending if there's changes made to GitHub site and everything, but you can kind of figure it out with a little bit of troubleshooting. We go up here to new, and then up here it says create a new repository, and it says the owner on here, mine is web class prof, and after that I need to come up with a name for it. So what we are going to do here is we're going to just name these after the site that we created in class. So this one is called skeleton page. All right. So that's the owner name, the repository name, which is just another name for a folder that we're creating in our repository to store our information. And skeleton pages on there. For the description, that's optional. You could say this is a simple web page activity for my first web page coding class, or whatever you want to use. Underneath that, I do want to make sure that this is set to public, so anyone can see this repository. You can choose who can commit, so like no one else can make changes to it unless you give them permission to. Then we are not going to add a README to this particular one, but sometimes you may want to add a README to your repository, so that is there. That all looks pretty good. Underneath that, you can choose like a licensing that you want to use for this, so you could use MIT license or whatever. I'm just going to leave mine as none for right now, and then I'm going to click create repository. All right, once I'm done with that, it takes me into this page. So there's different ways you can do this. The thing we are worried about in class for right now is we want to upload an existing file. So it says get started by creating a new file or uploading an existing file. We've already created the file, so we're going to upload it. And we'll click right here. And then this is really easy. It says drag files here to add them to your repository. So opening up my little skeleton page folder on my desktop, I can look at this, and here's my index.html. I'm going to click and drag it onto here. All right, and you'll see underneath it adds a little section here where it says index.html, because that's what we call our home pages for each of our sites. So that's good. If you want to, you can make a note for yourself on here. So I could say for these changes, I could say uploading index.html, and then down here I could just say uploading the first page of my site. And these changes allow you to kind of document the changes that go to your site. So if you're, especially if you're working on this with the team in the outside of class setting, like in the real world setting, people can write what changes they're making, and you can kind of document that as you're going through. The important step here, once that is right there and you've typed that, then we can click commit changes. All right, so now we are at our repository here, my skeleton page repository of Web Class Prof, and then you can see it lists everything that you have on there. We just have one page. Now, unfortunately, we cannot, like if I click on that, it shows me my HTML on there. That's cool. But I can't view the page. I'm not able to do that. So what we can do is, while we're in the repository, we can go up here to Settings. And then when I look down here, it says the repository name. There's all this information. And then on the left-hand side, there is this option that says Pages. When I click on that, it'll take me to my Pages information. And there's this one here. It says Source. I do want to deploy it from a branch, because this up here is my branch. And then down here, I need to select what branch this is found in. And since I just have one branch for this repository, I have two choices. I can either go with the main branch or I can go with none. I want to select main, and then here I want this to be root, and then I will click Save. Alright, now when I'm done with that, it's going to give me some more information here, and it takes a moment for your page to become live. Alright, but up here it says GitHub Pages, and eventually I'll have my site up here. So you wait a couple minutes, and then you can just kind of click refresh as it goes through that, and that's how you do it. Sometimes you won't get the site showing up there, so then what you can do is you can actually go back to General, and you can scroll down, and you can go down to where it says Change Repository Visibility. Sometimes it says that it's private, so you might have to click here to change visibility and make it public. Mine says this repository is currently public. So all that is good. I'm just simply waiting for them. So I can go back to Pages on the left-hand side. And now would you look at it, our web page is here. Your site is live at HTTPS. And here's the information. There's the link. And so then we can just click on that and open it in a new tab to test it out. And here is our page showing up just as it did when we tested it offline. It's now working online. So then you would simply copy this and send that to me in class. So then again, anytime you get it's easy to get lost in navigation with GitHub if you're not used to it. So if you're anywhere else, again, you can always just go up here in the right hand corner, find your repositories, and then they're all going to be listed here. Here's my skeleton page repository. I only have one right now, so I'll click on that, and then what you would do is you would send me a link of your repository link so I can see your code, and then you would also go to Settings, and then go to Pages, and then here's your link for this. You'll also send me this, so that way I can look at your code to see how everything looks on there, and then I can look at what the page looks like live to make sure there wasn't any problems with that. And there you have it. That is uploading your page onto GitHub and using it as a free place to place your pages, which is pretty sweet. Pretty great service there. And then you can host as many of those pages as you want until you run out of room on there. And for what we're doing in this class, we're not even going to come close to that file limit. So don't ever worry about anything for this class. And when you're done with the class, you can always take out what you don't want and put something new, or start a new repository, or any of that. So hopefully that is helpful to you. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you're in class, obviously shoot me an email or whatever, and I can help you out if you're having any trouble with that. Appreciate you watching, and we'll get you on the next video.